create from selection. So right here, create from selection. And if I click this, it automatically says, where do you want to get the names for? Create the names for the values where. And it automatically was smart enough to figure out, are you thinking the left side? And I go, yeah, the left side. So I'm going to just go ahead and say okay. And check this out now. If I select this cell now, notice what it says? It says toy 1 up there. Okay. Now, sometimes this comes in handy because when we're doing solver, if I've already selected certain cells, you'll see that it will have the names, so you actually can pick it up right. Let me do another one just for sake, just as another example again. I'm just going to do this. So I want to be able to just say, hey, these are all the parts that we end up getting, and it's this whole side. Again, I'm just going to name this entire area as the region for parts that we ended up getting, parts obtained. So again, if I just click the create from selection, again it says, hey, left side, and I say okay. So now, if I again select this area, I notice that it named it up there already. So sometimes that just saves you from having to copy the names and stuff like that. I can do this as well. Number of this, I'll just do another name this, create from selection, so I can just name that. Again, left column. How about this one as well, purchasing costs, maybe I'll do that as well. Okay, I'm getting tired, but we'll see if it actually ends up. You can see what happens. By naming it later when we run solver, we actually can see the names. It's a little easier. There's other ones you can do, by the way. What if I had done this? Okay, so what am I doing? Again, these are the cells here. So if I actually do, again, create from selection, notice that it said, hey, I don't see any text. Oh, top row. So it automatically selected the top row. So I said, oh, cool. So, okay. So this time, again, if I select this area, I see it gave the name. Okay. So kind of play around with this so you can get a sense if it comes in handy for you. Okay, now, having done this now, so let's double check where we're at. We know that we have to assemble 20 kits. We know that each kit has the requirements down below, each of these. So therefore, how much do we need to have for each part A in order to make 20 kits? That would simply be equal to, yeah, we're going to just basically take equal to, hey, see, this is cool. Now I know I actually selected the right cell. That's the number of kits. I don't even have to press F4 now in order to do the thing. Because I've actually named it, it's now the same as if I press F4 and put $ signs in front of that cell. So that's going to be number of kits times 10, right? C20. So clearly, if I'm going to produce 20 kits, I need to at least buy enough toys in order to generate and break apart 200 bits, right? I need to have 200 part A's. If I now drag this across, again, if I take a look, you can see that everything else is also correct. All right, so we did that just so that we know that that's our constraint. We need to buy enough toys in order to be able to pull out enough parts so that we could generate at least 600 of B and so on. So what's our next step? Well, often for a toy problem, right, when you're working on to make sure all your calculations are right, you should actually just put a suboptimal solution, right? But we're trying to optimize, so which is what's the right number of toys I should buy. But just to make sure our calculations are correct, let's just put something so we can see that the numbers are adding up and doing stuff. So I just put 1, right? So I just selected it all. I'm going to press 1, Control, Enter. Bam, I filled it all with 1. Right? So of course, that's not the right answer because it won't fill the constraints. I'm pretty sure just buying 1 of each is not going to get me enough parts to make the 20 kits. It just is not enough. But let's see what it does. In fact, we know what it should do. If I actually bought 1 of each box, how many parts would I have? So let's So how do we actually calculate that? If I had just, so let's say it again, if I bought one of each box, how many part A's would I have? You say, well, Professor Chen, I can see it up here, right? There's part A, that each toy, if I put, each box, each toy you buy, those are numbers. So I have to add them up. Oh, cool. What if I, just for sake of argument, change that to 2? Just to double check. How would you calculate that? Okay, so if I had 2 boxes of toy 1, that would give me 6 part A's, 2 times 3. If I have 1 box of each, that would be 16, 21. So I would add 6 plus 16 plus 21 and 13. So I have to multiply how many of each and then add them together. And of course, we now know that's called sum product, right? So I'm going to go ahead now and do the sum product. Here, I'm going to say equals sum, S-U-M, and I see it. I'm going to click sum product. I didn't do it right. Do it again. Sum product. Okay, now I'm going to select the total number I'm purchasing. Okay. I didn't name those. Okay. I should have named it. Okay. From the top. Okay, comma. And then I'm going to select that, right? Is that the right thing? Okay. And then I made well, I screwed up already, didn't I? What did I do mistake? Because if I'm going to do it later, I want to also sum product each of those other ones. So, but I need to fix this. I'm going to actually go back here and just press F4. I didn't do a good job again. Dang it. I'm losing my mind. Okay, let me select it again. Okay, I'm going to do a better one, man. I'm so late. Okay, so there's 2 ways to do it. Let me just say it right now. I'll show you 2 ways. One is I do sum product. And what I need to do is I need to select this, and I got to then press F4, so I put $signs in front of them all. Why? Because I'm going to multiply this with this corresponding. When I drag it over to find out how many part B's, I need to be multiplying these with this column. So I'll let these columns relatively move across, but I need to fix that, right? I need to fix that with the $sign. So I could do that. So you guys can just do that and just do it. The other way would be to select this whole area and name it, and you'll see it fixed as purchases. But I'm just going to leave it with the $signs. I'll press comma. And then now I'll select the corresponding total number for A that I need. Okay, so those are your 2. So when I multiply how many of each box, now I know I would have 56 if I ended up buying 2 toy 1 and then 1 of each of the other ones. I would only have 56 part A's. That ain't enough. I need 200, but that's not my problem yet. I'm going to let the software do it for me, right? And again, we're going to double check this. If I drag this across, there we go. And let's double check. Make sure it adds up correctly for 49. That would be 13 plus 12 is 25 plus double that. So 24.